2023 at 5:30 p.m. to order. Candace, invitation please.
Heavenly Father, thank you for allowing the council and citizens to gather here tonight. We ask that you guide the council to make the right decisions for the community. Keep us all safe, and we thank you for this day. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen. I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
No motion to approve consent agenda.
Make a motion to approve. Second.
Discussion. All in favor? Aye. Motion carried. Mayor's report. Mr. Gary.
Well, y'all have much. Glad to be back when you start coming back to the meetings. Everybody did again, I tell you. Appreciate all the prayers and everything that went out for me. I've turned the curve of improving daily. If I keep catching pneumonia again, I'll be all right. But I'm glad to be back. So appreciate the prayer. Feel free to call on me if you need anything. Speech will get better. Everything will get better. That's it. Like I said, if you need me, call on me.
Well, prayers continue. We're glad to see you.
Yeah.
Attorney's report.
Nothing new from me?
Clerk's report.
Just, we're moving forward on grants. We've got a release of funds request for lift stations. So we're actually progressing. And the resolutions, which Dale will talk about one of them tonight for Yellow Jacket, that DOT is gonna provide the extra funds, and so there's a resolution in here for that.
Thank you.
I think the dedication went really well. I was really pleased with the turnout, and I think there was between 25 to 30 people there, I would say. And so I was really glad to get to honor those folks and their families being there. I can't think.
Thank you, Candace.
Oh, you're
Thank
welcome.
you.
It was my pleasure. And I don't really think I can have anything else.
Okay.
Oh, I do. Miss Mary reminded me. See, Fall Festival we have planned for October 28th. The elementary school called and said they have one planned for the 26th.
And Wausau's is the 28th too.
Is it 28?
Do y'all want to move forward?
Oh, yeah.
Not.
I think we were talking about maybe just not doing it this year, making good plans and planning it better next year.
So whatever the will of the council is, I'll do whatever you want to do.
Well, we're nearing the end of September now.
That's a lot of planning.
When we talked about doing it, we wanted to do it right. We did it, so it may be better.
That's
And when
fine.
we talked about it, the elementary school had not been doing it too, to
Right.
my knowledge, in a few years, but they picked it back up. So maybe we could do something middle of October next year. So we're not
And we'll start
top
on
of
it.
everybody.
We'll start on it in July,
Okay.
Sounds good.
if that's fine with everybody.
That's fine with me.
Okay.
Also, we need to add number 3, resolution 2023-195 to the agenda. I
What is it?
apologize.
What's the number?
2023-195. And that's all you have, Candace?
And don't forget, we have a final budget hearing Monday night.
This fall, coming Monday.
The 25th?
Yes, ma'am.
Anybody have anything for Miss Candace? We all do appreciate you very much, and
It's my pleasure. Not a
what
problem.
went on Saturday was it was nice. Everybody appreciated it. And it was a good turnout. Public Works report.
I got 4 things actually. First, my sister and them said thank y'all for the tree. let y'all know, the ones that wasn't there. I need to get Taylor Power out to look at one of my generators at well 3, the screen's going out. I don't know what's gonna cost, so I just wanna let y'all know. I'm gonna give them a look at it and give me a price. And then, the dirt pile issue with the county, I got the fence opened up, they're gonna come look at it, make sure it's all right. Whenever they clear that, we're good on that.
Let's start
And
with
then-
that.
Yeah, and then Church Street, we're, I guess, 20% done with it, we're just waiting on him to do his part. But besides that, that's it.
So you got to do. Thank you. Fire department report.
I have not talked to Shaq today, but as far as I know, everything's going smoothly. The air conditioner's running great. They're having their regular meetings. They did have some, they pushed I think a cleared spot and kind of a berm for them to start back to do the turkey shoots that y'all had talked about a few months ago, so he's getting ready to start those.
Recreation report. Ms. Nikki.
All I have is that our 8U and 10U football teams are undefeated right now. We all 3, 8U, 10U, and 12U are in the playoff runnings right now for PYFA. So we're just hoping, we just opened the fall co-ed softball season. It'll run Friday nights from November 3rd through December 15th on Friday evenings. We did it that way so it wouldn't interfere with football games. We didn't want to take away from people wanting to go to football games and stuff like that. And then I have 2 things that I want to ask. Chris Galloway from Alumni Athletics, I don't know if Miss Candace got to put it on there or not. I texted her like really late this afternoon.
I'm sorry, I haven't seen it.
You're good. He messaged me about wanting to do 1-pitch co-ed softball league tournament style games on Saturdays at the old field behind City Hall, starting September the 30th to run through December the 2nd. It says rec will receive $75 every Saturday whether lights are used or not. Hope to be able to do games earlier. This is more catered to travel type teams. He said the field will be kept up by him, and he was just wanting to know if that would be an option, and he is supposed to get me a proposal like for everything that they're wanting to do. I'm going to leave that up to y'all. I have no reservations about it, but we can discuss that whenever, if y'all want to put it on the agenda or whatever. And then my last thing is seeing if it's okay for us to put a combination lock on the light box back there behind the City Hall at that softball field, because unbeknownst to my knowledge, I did not know that there was people going out there and doing like practicing, which I'm fine with it. Like I want everybody to practice, but I didn't know. And one of the light sets was left on overnight, and it could have been prevented if I would have known, you know what I mean? So that's another thing. And then whenever we did go up, Matt went up to turn the lights off and open the box, and there's no lock or anything on it. You just mesh the thing and pull it, but there's open live wires. So it just worries me about a kid or a passerby or like, you know what I mean? I don't want nothing to get hurt out there.
I think it probably does need to be locked, and just make sure that the city
Right. Yes,
also has a key.
I think I got a combination.
and it'll just be like, it'll be up to like y'all's discretion who has the combination.
As for what
to
you
it,
said
like-
right before that about the use of this out here, you said you're waiting on a proposal.
Well, he wanted me to bring it to y'all tonight, and he told me he would get a proposal to me, and then something happened with his internet and he didn't get it. So basically what I just read to y'all is what he told to me.
Okay, we also said that you had some reservations, so I would suggest, it's just me, anybody else speak up, I would suggest wait for the proposal
Okay.
and then bring it before council and let us have a copy of it, and discuss it, because we really don't know.
Right.
And with anybody that's gonna use it, we know that everybody uses the track in the ball fields.
Right.
The lights are the issue.
Right.
But
And he
if
did
y'all are
say,
practicing out there, anytime anybody uses it, it's gonna have to be coordinated. No, I don't think anybody here wants to stop anybody from, you know.
and I don't, like
Yeah,
I said, I would have, but I didn't know, you know what I mean? And I could have easily come by, I mean, I don't remember where we were at or something. Like, we were out late that afternoon, I could have run by and turned them off or checked.
Well, I would think that either, like Jason said, he's got a combination lock, something that you have, can access and that the city can access.
Right.
And for my part, when he gets your proposal, just tell him that we don't mind looking at it, we don't try to mind seeing about it. But you said you had reservations, so you being the rec director, I would rather you get the proposal
Okay.
and express your reservations to us in a meeting and let us see his proposal and talk about it. Is that good with everybody?
But that's all I have.
That's all you got? Any public participation? Okay, let me say, welcome tonight, Sheriff Cruz. We're happy to see you.
Thank you.
And I wanted to let you know that your 2 from last year plus 1 went into the budget,
Okay,
so
appreciate
you get an
it.
extra one.
All right, thank you.
If nobody else has anything, then we'll move on to new business. Number 1, award bid for Yellow Jacket Drive. Mr. Long.
How y'all doing this evening? I was not in the office today. I did see the email from DOT, so that was good news. Next year, I'll probably know the DOT off and cough up the rest of the money to be able to award the entire project. So what I've got, the other thing about not being in the office is I forgot to bring extra copies, but I'll generally go through it. I got a notice.
I gave everybody a copy.
Okay, good. So I wrote the notice of award letter and I brought the notice of award paperwork. There was 2 things pending on that notice of award. The first one's been resolved, was the DOT having the money to afford it. So it sounds like that's covered. The other question was a very minor issue. The bid, so on the bid documents, it requires that you acknowledge the addendum. So 1 addendum went out. All the bidders except for the low bidder acknowledged it on the bid. However, the addendum was changing the pre-bid date. And that bidder was at the pre-bid date. And after they received the addendum, they sent me a form back saying they got it. They just didn't include it in the bid. So I don't, in my mind, from where I'm coming from, I don't see it as an issue. Michelle, I don't know if you even had a chance to look through my email or not.
I was just looking at your email.
I think it would be her decision to say whether it's an issue or not, but I wouldn't see it as an issue. Because it did not affect the price of the bid. There was, if you looked at the bid tabulation, there's some red numbers in there. They had a couple math errors that actually lowered their bid, which is a good thing. But their total bid amount was $149,534.70, 149,534.70. So, barring Ms. Jordan having any issues with their bid, I would say that I'd like to see the council approve the award and allow the mayor to sign the notice of award. And I guess there's a resolution regarding the DOT money as well.
So, I mean, it's technically not compliant. I don't think y'all dealt with this issue either in a long time or maybe as long as I've been here, but I have had to defend bid challenges based on, this is kind of a technicality, but it is technically not a compliant bid. So it's kind of up to you all as the council as to whether or not you consider this to be substantially not compliant or not. Technically, they didn't comply with the bid requirements. So you have the option of rejecting all the bids and starting the process
Start
over.
over again? Reject them and start over again?
That's one option. You can reject this bid as non-conforming and go to the next lowest bid. You can determine this to be not a substantial or de minimis
if no one else complains.
I don't have a problem
Yeah.
with,
Right, the issue would be a complaint by the next lowest bidder who would be entitled to the award because they did comply with all of the requirements. That's where your bid challenge would come in, if it was.
I think your other two bidders bid so high they didn't want it.
Right,
That's my opinion.
that's my
well,
opinion.
Well, no, the next lowest bidder is up around,
192.7,
yeah, so it's around 30,
$40,000.
40,000.
Yeah.
but I understand what you're saying, and I hate to toss it all out and start over. Me personally, I'm just one council member, feel free for all of y'all to speak up. I would like to see, Chapel Branch and Magnet LLC get it, and overlook, as Mr. Long said, not really overlook, acknowledge it, but it's this tiny, it's a minimal
Yeah.
thing to me. That's just my opinion, I don't know where anybody else stands, but,
I agree with you.
and Mr. Long, you don't have any.
No, I mean,
Issue
from my
with the
perspective,
proposal.
granted, it's more of a legal issue than an engineering issue, but it does not affect the price. So that, if that addendum affected the price, that would be something different. And they did it basically changed the date of the pre-bid, they were at the pre-bid, and I have a signed document from them. It just didn't come with the bid, like it should.
And I understand what you're saying, Michelle.
I have one thing to say. How long do we have on this contract? Just say if we cancel all
With the
the
DOT,
bids.
you're talking about the DOT agreement? How long do you have? In other words, if we rebid it, how long do we have to rebid
Yeah.
it? I don't know right off the top of my head. I don't think we're bouncing up against the timeline. We probably could get an extension if we needed to.
From my perspective, to me, I'd rather go that route, and I'm gonna explain part of it, and I'm gonna leave it at that. It's a public meeting, and it's on record. There's information out there that's gonna come out, this week that might affect the city down the road, and, to me, my vote, I'd rather re-advertise. Since we got a technicality, there's information that I know that might affect the city down the road big time in this project.
I'm sorry, there's information that you know that may affect the project, you mean with one of the bidders or with the actual project?
Well, with the bidders, it affects the bidders to a certain extent, and I can't elaborate on the whole issue right now. And I don't want to see, just say we award the contract tonight and come back 2 weeks from now, we're going to redo the whole thing anyway. With that said, that's where I lean to. But I'm, like I said, I'm just one vote on the city council, whatever y'all decide to do. Up to y'all.
Let me clarify, because I want to make sure that I understood that last part. You're saying that if we were to go ahead and award tonight, we may end up having to redo it in 2 weeks anyway?
Yeah. There's information out there on other cases that's going on here in the county that's going to affect this, what we said done, and that's all. I can elaborate on it right now, but
If there's a technicality on the bid, okay, and the other bidders find out there was a technicality. You understand where I'm coming from?
You say the other lowest bidder would have a chance to say something?
Mm-hmm.
They always have a
They want
chance to
to.
protest. I think what Ms. Jordan's saying is that might give them a leg to stand on. It might not, but it might. I mean,
It's not a strong leg,
Right.
but
They could.
it could.
I've seen a lot worse things left out of it that
Yeah.
have gone through and not been a problem. But I mean, again, it's not really my decision. It's your decision. You're the one that bears the risk.
If you reject all the bids and re-advertise, then there's no risk of a bid challenge. You always reserve the right to reject all of the bids. That's always in your advertisement, so.
Well, take another month to
Yeah, you have
redo.
to do 30 days again, so I mean, we could advertise it as soon as whenever the next advertisement goes in the paper. We need to notify all the bidders. I will tell you, the only thing to bear in mind is that when you read bids, it will be higher.
Yeah.
You pretty much take that to the bank, but
We have a resolution from DOT that where they've agreed to
Do it this time.
do it. It's gonna change it $40,000 possibly.
I mean, I don't know what it'll end up coming back at, but yeah, I mean, you'll have to go back through DOT again. But I mean, I will say this, DOT would understand that if there's an issue with the bid that he has concerns about, we're bid for that reason, so be it.
I don't vote.
Okay, what's the will of the council? I'm gonna go ahead and put it out there. If this is the way that you all feel about it, given the information that Mr. Brock has shared, I would suggest before we award it to anybody else that we rebid it.
Rebid it? Is that what you said?
If y'all are not willing to go forward with the lowest bidder tonight, given Joey's information and the technicality, then my part would be rebid it to give everybody the opportunity to get in and get it right. But no, the process is gonna go up. But you did say that DOT would probably understand, and hopefully we won't lose that money.
It's not like you're dragging your feet, you're trying.
So what's the will of council?
What we're looking to state attorney and got clearance. Really,
I don't think that we're gonna get that from what Michelle said.
Got the bidder out here too, if
Yeah.
it's from there too.
So we understand, Ryan Hammock with Chapel Branch, we understand the technicality. I priced the job and put the big package together. I did sign the addendum and emailed it back when it came out. But at this time, given everything's been said, we'd like to withdraw our bid. To keep the city safe because of technicality, and that's a legal issue, and have been in contracting business for 26 years, it's the right thing to do. It's the right thing for the city, it's the right thing for contractor, and so we'll withdraw to keep everything square. Okay?
I hate to hear that.
I do too, but when it comes down to it, the bid documents said include that addendum. When the girls put the package together, I wasn't in office to review it and turn it in, and we missed it. And so if the second lowest bid did want to take recourse, they could fight it. I mean, that's just,
So,
it's black and white. We read it. It is what it is.
so, but if what we're discussing here is doing a rebid,
We'll bid it again. We'll put the package in the right way this time, and do it right, and make sure if there's any addendums in the second go that I'll review it and we'll make sure it's in there. But let's do it the right way. Let's don't. It's the right way to do it. So
Based on how he feels, let's rebid it.
well, I need a motion.
I make a motion that we take a rebid on this.
So,
Discussion? All in favor? Aye. Motion carried. So which one of these resolutions needs to be removed from the agenda tonight?
194.
So remove number 2 from the agenda. We'll move on to, thank you, Mr. Long.
Thank you, Ron. Appreciate that.
We thank you for your
Thank you very much.
honesty, sir.
see y'all. I got to go football.
Okay, so number 3, resolution 2023-195.
I threw it up here. It's last second. I apologize, but it's for the excessive force policy. It's part of a grant. We have to have it. You have to do it for every grant, and it was a last second thing, so I was running copies and getting them in here. But it's basically what we do every time with a few changes.
Except the,
Excessive portion, yeah.
this is a new one for CDBG. You're correct about it. Just get the money.
So 2023-195 is a resolution of the City of Vernon Council of the City Council of the City of Vernon, Florida, adopting an updated policy protecting individuals engaged in nonviolent civil rights demonstrations. Do I have a motion to approve?
I make this real.
Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carried. If there's no further business, may I have a motion to adjourn?
I make a motion to adjourn.
They came in late, didn't they?
I'll second.
I'm sorry.
Because they came in late.
Is there any public participation?
Pastor, do you have anything to say? Cause y'all came in late. Did you have something?
No, I don't have anything specific to say. I don't know what all will discuss out there lately. But, I'm John Smith, pastor of the church out by faith in
Church Street.
Vernon. And we're concerned about the street being paved, and I didn't know what y'all talking about. What's on the agenda for today, so I'm not here to interrupt the meeting, but just to hear what's going on in this city. We're here about half the time in Vernon. And even in our mind, we might live here, so we just want to know just what's
Yes, sir.
in the city, what's going on. So
Well, the reason that we ask is because there's a part in the meetings where there's public participation. If anybody has anything they want to talk about or question on, and y'all came in after that fact, so that's why I asked you.
thank you.
Thank you for coming. All in favor to adjourn?
Aye.
Motion carried. Meeting adjourned.